me sharing tips and tricks that I've learned along the way in my long time living on earth. Just things just to help you on your financial journey, and all about money, and just getting into a place where you can achieve some level of financial freedom, or at least get you on the right path to there. So, disclaimer, of course, your girl ain't no financial advisor. That's not what I do for a living. This is literally just my experiences that I'm choosing to share, because I feel like it's something that's missing amongst like young people. Like, when I really know how to get money and maximize and create wealth and build wealth and break them generational curses that we be talking about, like we be saying we want to, but we don't know how. So to start things off, I'm gonna be sharing my 9 cents on just habits that keep us broke, y'all. Like, so the first bad habit is you don't have a goal. You don't have a financial goal. There is no specific point that you're trying to reach. So you are just moving about life, spending money as it comes, because what are you working towards? You don't have a goal. And the reality is, without goals, we just roam around aimlessly. Now, you can have short-term, long-term goals. It doesn't matter. If it is that in 3 months you want to have $1 million in your bank account, in 5 years you want to buy a house, you know what I mean? You have to have a goal, because otherwise you're gonna be spending and saving and doing all these things just arbitrarily. You're not working towards anything. You can't measure your success to say, yeah, you're getting there, because you never had an end goal in mind. So the second bad habit is that you don't budget. So you get your paycheck month time or fortnightly, weekly, however, whenever you get paid, and you just spend. So you pay your bills, you buy this, you see that and you want it, you just buy it. And then, so you get paid on the 25th, come the 1st, your money done, and you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna live until the rest of the month? Because you didn't have any budget. You just have the money, you just spend it on whatever you need. And the reality is, you can't track money and save and all of that if you're not tracking what you're spending. Because, and this is something that I am so guilty of, and it's something that I really had to like curb to just make sure that I get things done. Because it's so easy. It's like when you see money in your account, you go, that's nice, let me spend it. I have money. And then 2 twos you look back in your account, you go, let me see my account, this, me get robbed, me get scammed, somebody scammed my account, and you're like, where did all of this money go? The next bad habit is you ignore your debt. Now, a lot of us have debt. If you buy a car, chances are you did not buy it cash, you have debt. You have a credit card, you don't pay off the balance every month, you pay the minimum balance, so you bad habit, especially for credit cards. But I'm not going to dive too much into that, because I want to do a full video on credit cards, because they can be so beneficial to your life if you understand how to use them. But bad debt, you cannot ignore your debt. The reality is, a lot of us live hand to mouth, and so when you are deciding what to forego this month, oftentimes people choose to forego their loans and their debts. And don't do it, because the reality is, when you need to borrow money for something else, you're not gonna qualify. Even if you're out of courts, you're gonna go. Even if a court's bail, if you're hide from, that affects your credit score when you want to buy the house that you planned up for. You understand? Don't ignore your debts. If you're having issues paying it back, you can't make the monthly payments, trust me, go to your credit union, go to your bank. 10 out of 10 times, 12 out of 10 times, they're gonna give you a new payment plan, because they want back them money. Because them invest now, you're not giving them the money now. If you are supposed to pay them back $10 a month time, and you say to them, boy, I can only pay you 2, they'll say, alright, come in and let's talk. Let's see how we can restructure your loan and make that $2 work. So that is something that I would definitely say, do not ignore your debts. So that leads me to the next bad habit, which is living outside of your means. And if you think about it, how many of us spend more than we earn each month? I mean, a lot of us do, and that is the reality. And it's a really bad habit, because you will end up in this never-ending cycle of paying somebody back and doing this and doing that. Because if you make $100 each month and you spend 150 every month, then you are always gonna be in a deficit. But if you were tracking your money, you'd know that, ooh, girl, you only got 100. Like, relax. Let's dial it back. Let's not buy those Clarks that you wanted. Let's not buy that Bridget's that's on sale, even though it's on sale. You know, you don't have it. And I feel like all of us have been there at some point and are still in that situation where it's just like, you want this lifestyle and you ever just do it. And you don't think about next month, you don't think about next year, you just know, say, what you want now, you want it, and anyway, you're gonna get it, and you're just gonna make it happen. And then down the line, you end up in this big pothole, and you're like, oh nigga, how am I gonna climb out of this? Because you dug such a huge hole that hello? And it's the worst habit to have, I think, of all of these, because you end up in a constant cycle of digging yourself into a deeper hole and further away from where you're trying to be. So that leads me to the next bad habit, which is procrastination. And I know all of us do it, but when it comes to your finances, it can be so detrimental. So we're talking about debt before, and a lot of us have a lot of loans, and when you think about it, when you don't pay, when you go, next month start pay that off, and next month come and you go, next month you start pay that off, all of that is accumulating over time. So you just have dig yourself into a bigger hole. So another aspect of procrastination that I want to talk about is savings. So a lot of us, as I've been saying, live paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, and we think that we don't make enough money to save. Now there's this misconception that saving have to be a specific amount. It has to be a substantial amount. And the reality is you can't save what you don't have, right? So if you have to look at your own portfolio. How much money do I make and how much of that can I save? Now maybe when you look at it, you can barely save anything, but one cocoa, full basket. So when you put on your little $50, your little 50 cents every month, over time that's gonna be something. And that takes me into the next part of saving that I wanted to touch into, which is savings doesn't mean that you just put on money under your mattress or in a bank account and just leave it there. You know, savings is investments of some sort. So whether you're buying stocks, and obviously if you're not making no bag of money, you're not gonna have no whole heap of money to put and buy 1,000 million shares one time. But if you can buy a 10 here, or you can invest the money in some government bonds over here, or put it in a nice little fund that can grow money. There are lots of different things that you can do, that you can start with a little bit of money each month, and just over time it will build up. And you trust me, when those things are matriculate you call it, when they mature and you get back the money, you go, that nicey. So the next bad habit is that you constantly adjust your standard of living when your pay increases. Now, this is something that I've been guilty of, and I know when you hear, you might be someone who try to live a little better. That's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is, if you make $50 extra if you're gonna make $50 extra every month, and you've added an expense or added something nice to your lifestyle that costs $50 every month, you're literally still in the same position that you were before you did make the $50, because you don't have any extra disposable income, any additional money to save, nothing of the sort. So you're literally, even though you're moving up in the salary scale, you're still living in that same, okay, this is just about enough each month, because as soon as you make an extra dollar, it's allocated to some expense. So you don't get the benefit of going, wow, look how much money just I sit down in my account and I grow and I do all these nice things. You don't get to do that. So the next big, huge, major bad habit that a lot of us have is that we don't invest in ourselves. You know, you're out here, you're investing in stocks, you're investing in bonds, but what about you, baby? What are you doing to make sure that you can get more? A lot of us are in this mindset where, ooh, I can't go back to school and I'm my thing, and I can't go back to school. And to be fair, I was there too. And I'm not saying that school is the solution for everything, but you have to be constantly evolving and growing in whatever industry that you're working in, so that you can get better, so that you can charge more if you're an entrepreneur, because you have far more skills and experience and all of these things invested in it. Or you can go to your manager and say, I did this course, and because of it I can apply all of these things to the organization. And a lot of us think going back to school means you have to get your master's and you have to do it for 10 million years and you have to achieve PhD level. No, sometimes it's just doing an online course. You know, you pay $100, or there are so many free online courses as well that you can go in and you can use it to level up. I want to say everything that you can think of is available online, free somewhere. Everything, any industry. No, I'm not saying you must always be in this constant state of, oh, I need to be better, I need to be better, because that is stifling and that is unsustainable. But if you know there's an area for potential growth for your life, do it, baby. Don't tell yourself that you can't go back to school. Why? You're not done. Nobody no more than you. What is the best investment is investment in yourself. And then a habit that also stops us from improving ourselves is self-doubt. And we think to ourselves, I can't go back to school, not really good at school the first time I started, or I'm not so bright, or I can't do that. And especially for entrepreneurs, like you're like, why am I gonna pay money and learn how to do this or try to do this better when nobody now go buy it when we make it? Self-doubt, you don't realize how much it impacts and hinders your life until you step out of your shell and you decide, say, regardless of any potential failure, you're going to try. You probably reach the end of this video and you're like, I don't do half of those. And the reality is that financial freedom is not a one-size-fits-all. You know, everybody has different goals and everybody has a different lifestyle that they're trying to achieve and maintain comfortably. So it's really about self-assessment. Now, some of these I can relate to. Some of them I have, you know, built a bridge over and I'm okay with not doing those things. But some of them I still struggle with. And there are far more things that I struggle with on my journey to be more in my coins and in my bag. You know what I mean? So you really have to just do some self-assessment and be honest with yourself. What are the things that you do continually that stop you from making that next step, that stop you from getting that much more money, that stop you from like living comfortably and the way you really want it? Period. Alright guys, those are all of the bad habits that stop you from being your best self. And you know, I really hope this video was helpful for some of you. Sometimes when you hear people say things, you know, say, I'm sure I need that. And sometimes you never realize that the things that we do stop us from getting to where we want to be. Then you just think it's, oh, you know, this is a natural part of life. Yes, but how do you get past it? So if you have any bad habits and how you got out of them, please leave them in the comments. If you like videos like this, comment with a as well as a money emoji in the comments to let me know that you want more videos like this. Because I really, like, this is something that I've been wanting to do on the channel. Like I've been telling you guys, like, I just feel like we don't even know the things them, so we can be better and be better for myself. So let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Leave your comments, give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, if you found it valuable. And before we go, let's do a nice big up to my subscriber. Damn, ready? Yeah, good. And on that note, guys, we've reached the end of this video. Subscribe if you're not already. Remember to leave your comments and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one.